How many times have you messed up a character in an RPG that does not allow you to respect, or fix that weird shenanigans you try to make thanks to the poor explanation the game gave to you, or you being a dick and ignoring the damn tutorial? How many times have you had to go back to the internet trying to fix the mess you made? But hey, that is what men do. We fix our shit by ourselves. Most of the time with some duct tape, but there is no bigger satisfaction than that of making your very own build and having that Frankenstein be effective. When we talk about Diablo, most people is going to tell you, just go and find a build on the internet, but man, fuck that. Man's gonna do what a man's gonna do. And that's building shitty characters builds in RPGs. Diablo 2 teaches you little to nothing about building your character, so I'm going to condense that little information in a small 5 minutes and more digestible video. What is up, you damn gorgeous and beautiful gamers, and welcome back to Role-Playing James. Before we move on, like always, I would very much like to humbly ask for your support. If you like the channel's content, a like in the video, a comment saying that you found it useful or not, every single thing helps. That being said, let us get right into it. First, we will of course discuss everything about the stats. Let us toss away the ones that you do not need for anything. I am looking at you, Energy. Energy is that weird little boy nobody understands, and nobody understands because he likes to mistreat animals. He is that little boy that nobody likes, but someday might shoot you, so you better stay the hell away from it. There seems to be a consensus about it. That is why it's fairly simple. It only gives you energy, and that is it. No mana regen, no mana steal, no FCR, no nothing. The thing is that early levels you will find mana potions even below rocks, and if you run out of them, heading back to town to sell stuff is a perfect time to restock on potions. Later on, you can get your mercenaries something like insight and have infinite mana for forever until Diablo finally does something meaningful. So yeah, it is as useless as men nipples. Then we have strength. Every character needs this to at least be able to use gear. Some specific armors for the build are going to ask you for strength, and you need to have it. Other than that, it increases melee weapon damage for 1%, so a melee-based character might benefit from it. Although, arguably, the true DPS comes from character skills, so it is not really that important either. Dexterity is useful depending on the scenario. If your build requires you to have a shield, it will impact the overall block rate, which can be at a maximum of 75%. If you're using a dexterity for block rate, once you get it to 75%, you do not need it anymore. It also gives attack rating, although that is also quite useless as well because as you as a melee fighter, you want to be covering that with gear. It also increases range damage. So for a bow build, it is actually quite useful because it increases your damage quite substantially, I should have to say. Now vitality, everything else you're not going to be using goes here. And it is essentially the most important stat. Enemies in Diablo 2 hit, and they hit like a damn truck, especially on the higher difficulties of the game. So, you want to have as much health as humanly possible, while you cover the DPS and other stuff with gear. Now let's go through skills. This is the other important part of building your character. Unfortunately, in Diablo 2 you can mess up your character real bad. You have a total of 3 respecs, one each time you finish the Dam of Evil quest in each difficulty. You can actually farm for more respecs later on in the endgame, but dude, to be able to be on the endgame you need to have a proper build, so yeah, you get what I mean, right? That said, for an effective build, you want to have synergies between the 5 selected skills of all the branches. Remember that the most important part of it all is having fun with the build. Now some people might get confused, or might confuse, to synergize a skill to taking a path to unlock it. A skill might need you to spend a bunch of points on other stuff before actually being able to unlock it, and still not synergize with them. To have in mind that some skills have hidden synergies. Blessed Hammers, for example, will tell you that it receives plus 14% extra damage from Blessed Aim and Vigor, and will appear in the skill description as well. You do not need to have set skills active for that damage to add. Just spend points on them. The hidden synergy comes from concentration, for example, that will give you a plus 50% efficiency on the damage per level of the skill. And for example, on the other hand, you need Raised Skeleton to unlock Raised Skeletal Mage, but it is not going to benefit from the previous. Raised Skeletal Mage, it's not going to get better if you if you allocate points into Raised Skeleton. It synergizes with Summon Resist and Skeleton Mastery. Do have this in mind, and that you want to have your skills on hard level 20. That means investing 20 actual points on them. But you want to raise them higher than that. Let us say, for example, that your weapon gives you +2 skills on your characters, and those already 20 are going to be 22. If you try to invest in lots and lots of different skills, you will end up being able to perform a bunch of useless stuff. When you like a skill, read the synergies, and preferably read an online wiki to look for hidden synergies. Now you're good to go. This is everything you need to know how to make a proper build without messing up your character respect points if you do not wish to use a meta build. That being said, I do hope that you guys find this guide useful. If you did, a like in the video is super appreciated, and remember that if no one has told you today that you're a gorgeous and beautiful person, then you are. I will be seeing you damn gorgeous and beautiful people later. Have a beautiful day.